All right, traders, watch this video for Friday, January 4th. Showing you a SPY here. Really strong day yesterday, and then today it looks like we're rolling back over. So we'll see. I think the Dow was down over 600 points. I don't know, for those of you that were in chat, I actually thought I was going to go the entire day without a trade. I ended up taking one trade, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But for those that weren't there, I took one trade all day. Anyway, it's just, that's the thing about day trading. You log in, and you have your charts that you're watching, and if the market's kind of ugly and weak, you don't get any buy signals on any of your setups, and you stay on the sidelines. I would much rather do that than overtrade and have a red day. So anyway, so the watch list for Friday, let's start with BOXL, which, by the way, is the only trade I took all day. Very strong close, nice volume in this one. There it is on 5-minute candle. So I missed the initial push. So I was bidding on the pullback. I got filled at 169, right about there, and ended up going back up through the highs. And actually, in after hours, it was trading even higher. But this is definitely one to watch tomorrow. So that was my only trade. And I had a decent little trade, but I certainly didn't get my daily goal today, only having one trade. ASNS, pretty strong, relatively speaking. The market was really weak. We had this big pop back here, sideways, kind of rolled over, formed a base, and then today broke out of that base. Maybe we get a continuation in that one tomorrow. CCCL, big day and a half move here, and then a reversal today. I don't know. I don't know if this thing's going to have a bounce in it or not, and I'm not in love with the setup, but if there's any good China news as a Chinese stock, this would be the first one I would look to because of this massive move it made back here. I'll give you the numbers. It went from 80 cents to 235 the next day. So if there's any decent China news or China tariff talks that sound good, this would be my go-to for a possible turn back up. UXIN. Now we've almost round-tripped. I've had this on watch for like 3 or 4 days in a row, so another red day. Just going to have it on watch again. I am not bullish on this at all. I don't really even like it as a bounce play, but if you notice, you guys know I like bounce plays to break the early high coming out of a tight range. I mean, that's my favorite scenario, and I want that break to happen preferably in the afternoon. So if you look at this, let me switch to 15-minute candles. So this is kind of where it topped out over 950. It actually topped out back here, but then this was a decent kind of second round. Anyway, so after it hit 968 this day, the very next day, there's your opening 15-minute high right there. The next day, the next day, the next day, the next day, and today. Point being, this hasn't broken out of its range in the afternoon since this was over 950. So because of that, I still think it's worth having on watch, but that is kind of an ugly chart because you've almost round-tripped this whole huge move. But BTAI, very strong stock today. I had this pop back here, flagged for a few days, then right back up. Decent volume and closed, kind of in the middle of its range. It's a thin stock, tough trader, but I do think it's worth watching because it's showing some strength after the initial pop and then a 3-day pullback. It ended up closing basically right at the highs of the big day it had about a week ago. So let's keep our eyes on that one. A few more. ADRO, kind of breaking out of a range here. Decent volume for the stock. Just a high relative strength day when you look at how nasty the market was. A couple more. EKSO. Thing I don't love about this one is that it's been running for 2 days in a row. And you go to intraday, had really big volume on this afternoon pop. I saw the volume pop. I just never got a clean setup in it, but it closed fairly strong compared to the market again. So we'll watch that tomorrow. Look at that daily chart though, and I certainly don't like it very much. And then QTT has had pretty good relative strength. Big pop yesterday, and then today kind of an inside day. Volume seems to be holding up pretty well on this one. So another one with relative strength. Not in love with this one either, but certainly worth watching. We'll add some gap plays to this list in the pre-market tomorrow, and hopefully we catch a bounce in the market tomorrow as well, or at the very least, not a 600-point down day. You can have kind of a red day and still have some nice setups on morning gap plays or the overnight list. So anyway, we'll work together tomorrow and we'll find something. All right, I'm done babbling. See everybody tomorrow.